We all knew Stephen Colbert was low, and even having Taylor Swift on a show can't save him. And even having that dude, Rachel Maddow, continually begging, pleading, desperately asking CBS to unfire him and uncancel his show. We knew that he was going to get desperate, but I did not expect to see him live on air begging his boss, a boss that, by the way, he's been spending the last year completely lambasting, begging them to not fire him. This is indicative. This is a bigger picture of the left knows that they're losing cultural influence. They know the power of hosting that late night television show place. Because, I mean, sure, he only has like 1 million nightly viewers. But if you look at all the clips and all the reach across social media, you know, these guys still have reach and they still have some amount of power. They know they're losing that. And now Colbert probably hit an all-time low. And leave a like if you're happy to laugh on his way out the door. Quick pitch. 2025 Advent Calendar, all new this year. It's not Advent Calendar. The 12 Days of Christmas starts on Christmas. They're shipping now. There's only maybe 150 or so left. Promo code HOLIDAY15, one word. Save 15% on it. And over at coffeebrandcoffee.com, link in the description below. You can also pick up our gift box and our Kona Coffee stocking bundle. But let's get to this story because I'm keeping my shout outs short. Stephen Colbert argues Paramount's $108 billion bid for Warner Brothers proves the network can't afford to uncancel his show. See, this is the most unintentional, but also hilarious self-owns that anyone could have imagined. Basically, Stephen Colbert is going on air and now admitting, hey, my boss has enough money to keep my show around, and they're still firing me. Like, this is so pathetic. And then we'll have to see like mainstream media too, like Mad Cow talk about it too. But talk show host Stephen Colbert drew applause from his audience last night as he argued his network should be able to support his show if they can fork out enough cash to pursue a hostile takeover of another media company. There's currently a massive bidding war in which company will buy Warner Brothers Discovery, which recently put itself up for sale and holds the right to movie franchises ranging from Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter. While Netflix moved to acquire Warner Brothers in a deal valued at $82.7 billion, Paramount has significantly upped the ante by launching a hostile takeover bid. Paramount Skydance announced Monday it had launched an all-cash tender offer to acquire outstanding shares of Warner Brothers. This is similar to what Elon Musk did when he took over X or Twitter. Discovery for he was going to buy it for $30 per share in cash, with the company suggesting it is a superior offer than the recently announced $82.7 billion Netflix deal. Just yesterday morning, my beloved parent company, Paramount, reportedly launched a hostile takeover for Warner Brothers valued at $108 billion. Wow. If my company's got that kind of green, I'm sure they can afford to uncancel one of their best shows. Colbert was making a tongue-in-cheek reference to the cancellation of his own show, which will be done in just a few months. Now, I don't necessarily think that it was tongue-in-cheek. I think he is deeply humiliated by this. He is deeply emasculated by this. He knows his future is now in hosting a podcast that 1/50th of people will actually, watch. This is just him hitting rock bottom. As the audience erupted to cheers, he eventually asked him to sit down, joking that the actual show he was talking about was the crime drama series The Equalizer, starring Queen Latifah, not his own show. No. You were talking about your own show. Where is this clip? Let me find this.
Just yesterday morning, my beloved parent company, Paramount, reportedly launched a hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers valued at $108 billion. Wow. I got to say, if my company's got that kind of green, I'm sure they can afford to uncancel one of their best shows.
All this does is prove, it reveals that firing Colbert wasn't a purely financial decision. And ever since, by the way, this is a man that has shown zero gratitude for the hundreds of millions of dollars that CBS has paid him over the past however many years hosting this show, okay? Ever since they terminated him, he's been acting like a petulant child. Why on earth would you fire why would you ever bring someone back like that? You know what would be the ultimate humiliation, which would actually be amazing in so many ways? If they did bring it back, but they had a different host. Like that is legitimately a possibility. They could bring it back with a host that doesn't command $30 million a year, and the show maybe wouldn't be losing $50 million a year. Also, you know, Colbert, if your show is so profitable, I'm curious, why hasn't Netflix, HBO Max, Peacock, Hulu, or literally any other streaming service on the planet, how come they haven't picked you up? You know what I'm saying? Why has nobody picked this show up? I mean, it's such a financial powerhouse. How come people aren't lining up at the door to say, hey, we'll have the late night show and we'll host it on one of the 25 streaming services out there? Not even Tubi wants this trash. Okay? One of their best shows, Colbert's losing them $100 million a year. You know, bring back MASH. What show is he even talking about? Colbert using $1 billion takeover to beg for his show back is wild. Did I miss something? Oh, I thought they fired him from his show. Paramount canceled Landman. You know, by the way, I need to start watching Landman. I hear it's pretty good. So butthurt. If this is one of their best shows, it would have been making money instead of losing it. I mean, this is it. Now you're still fired. Shocking that his ratings weren't better with that kind of weight. I mean, you would think, right? I mean, this is the thing. Like, his show has completely tanked. Then he says, one aspect of the deal, Colbert joked sarcastically, is particularly foreboding. Turns out Paramount, then this is where he gets really salty. Turns out Paramount got a little assist on the cash front. Their bid includes $24 billion from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi wealth funds. When the dictator of Saudi Arabia gives you billions of dollars, I'm sure there's no catch, he said. He said with clear sarcasm, going on to joke, in a totally unrelated story, I'm looking forward to next season's new CBS hit comedy, Young Mohammed bin Sheldon. I mean, I think that's funny. I think it's always funny to me how there's like these two sides. I find myself in this camp. Maybe you let me know which camp you're in, but like, they're like, meh, you're taking money from Qatar, or meh, you're taking money from Israel. I think you shouldn't take money from either one of them. I think most Americans agree with me, and I think anybody who's like in Canada or the UK would feel the same way about foreigners investing in their television and their real estate and all this kind of stuff. But it's like they're so inconsistent. Then you have this dude, Rachel Maddow, coming on the air saying it was absolutely transparent what CBS and Paramount were doing with getting rid of Stephen Colbert. Oh, it's a financial decision, Maddow said on her podcast, referring to the network's explanation for canceling Colbert's late night show that's set to air its final episode in just 5 months. She continued, right, because having the highest rated late night show in America for years is somehow financially unsustainable now when it wasn't before. Well, see, this is why this dude is so dumb. It was probably never financially profitable. They probably made a good amount of money during the lockdowns from Pfizer and other jab companies, as evidenced by Colbert's full-throated ball gargling of Big Pharma. But this is a show that was probably seen as a loss leader, a show that they were, you know, the network, which is, of course, far left, wants to have their foil for Republicans and Trump. And people have just gotten tired of it. I mean, just look at the views of videos that are talking about politics. People are just tired of the division. They're just, they want groceries to get more affordable. Then Maddow raged about her concerns as she sees a takeover at CBS. At the same time that you've got Trump-connected oligarchs taking over this company, she said, and putting a right-wing blogger in charge of CBS News. Of of course, in reference to Barry Weiss, which I have my questions about as well. Maddow believes CBS should, quote, reverse the decision about Colbert, too, saying that the network has plenty of time to reverse it. Maybe you can now see where in history you're going to end up, and now is your chance to try and alter that and get right, she said. And I think a lot of institutions are in the same boat. Nah, dude, this show doesn't make money. It doesn't change minds. It preaches to a smaller and smaller group of Trump. Just wait until January. Just wait until January when the big beautiful deal kicks in, and a lot of these Trump policies that we've been waiting for to help our economy start taking into effect. People are going to turn on the TV, and for the past 8 years or 12 years, really, being told Orange Man bad, and then just like things are just so much better under him. Now the economy has a long way to go. There's been a serious correction that's been being kicked down the road since the lockdowns, maybe even before. But like the fact that you have your own talent on your network that you're paying 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million a year, roasting you on your own network is not the way to bring your show back. And the fact that they're all acting like, oh, well, it was just a joke. No. It wasn't a joke. It simply wasn't a joke. Colbert is cooked. The entire late night. I mean, the fact that they extended Fallon a year or Kimmel is probably a smart decision, because their hope is that he can absorb, the million viewers who watch Colbert, and maybe he can. I mean, if he can get 25% of them, it's probably a ratings boom for the network. But the fact that now they're openly begging for their jobs back tells you they know just how bad things are going to be after they lose that pulpit. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.